And just a little FYI before I get into this video, in case you're seeing one going around the internet right now about, troops landing in Antarctica and these giant pyramids being found, and looks like someone's filming from one of those Chinook helicopters. It's fake. It's cropped from a bunch of different scenes of different things. So, having said that, just in case anyone runs across that, it's fake. Zero Hedge has an article in Fiscal dire straits. Connecticut showers state disability workers with overtime pay. Remember when I was talking about Illinois, and then I had to bring up Connecticut also having a little problem over there too financially? Connecticut showers state disability workers with overtime pay. Now that sounds like a move only a liberal leftist. Oh wait, that's right. That's what the governor is. Never mind. Judging by Muni or municipal bond spreads, Illinois is widely considered the most financially troubled state in the country. However, preppy Connecticut, which has the highest per capita income in the country and whose capital Hartford has been on the verge of bankruptcy for months, is not far behind. As lame duck Democratic Governor Daniel Malloy, yeah, that's the one I was talking about, battles with the legislature, including members of his own party, over passing the state's budget with a $2.5 billion deficit, the state's largest newspaper, the Hartford Courant, is highlighting an issue that is emblematic of a nettlesome fiscal problem facing the nutmeg state. Its overly generous treatment of state employees through overtime pay, particularly the Department of Developmental Services, which operates a string of hospitals serving the intellectually disabled and group homes, that is putting a heavy strain on the state's already teetering budget. State payroll data analyzed by the Courant revealed that through the first half of the year, 37 DDS employees have already earned more than $50,000 in overtime alone, putting a handful of those workers on track to collect $250,000 in pay this year. By comparison, workers with similar jobs in the private sector with state contracts, a group that serves 90% of the state's intellectually disabled patients, haven't had a pay raise in nearly 12 years. This excessive reliance on overtime is the result of a quirk in the regulatory framework that governs how the aging state institutions are run. Some nurses are on track to earn more this year than DDS Commissioner Jordan Sheff. With half the year to go, one direct caseworker in a facility in DDS's western region with an annual base salary of $44,000 had already earned $119,000, including $91,000 plus in overtime alone. Payroll records show. She is on pace to earn $238,000 this year. Now, isn't it amazing? I was just talking about Illinois and how everybody, especially the Chicago area, those workers, city workers, getting paid big time six-figure salaries. Like $100,000 a year was like the absolute lowest. Hardly anyone was making that. Everybody was 200 something, 300, 400,000, and they're broke as hell. And they're asking for help. What do we do? Got to pass a budget. Can't pass a budget. We're going to force a budget. We're going to just raise taxes on everybody. We got to do something. Yeah, I've got an idea. Pay people normal salaries. Someone should be making 50, 60,000 a year, getting paid 300, 250. Come on. But that's what happens when you know a guy. I know a guy. His name's Rom. Emmanuel. We call him Rom because we're on a first-term basis. Hey, Rom, I got some people that need a raise. $50,000 a year type of people? Yeah. What do you think they can get about? 238, 240? What do you got? How about 278? That's my man. Thank you, Rom. Rom Emmanuel. Of course, that's Chicago, Illinois. Broke-ass Illinois, as you know. But is it not amazing that another state that's not nearly as bad as Illinois, but still broke and still has a $2 billion plus deficit, Connecticut, there's multiple stories of people getting massive amounts of money for pay. Is this not shocking in the least bit? All we have to do is balance the budget, right? Well, but it's so hard. No, it's not hard. When you start looking at where it's going and not just generally speaking, well, Administration costs go, 5 billion a year. No. Let's look a little deeper into administration costs. Who specifically? Let's look at the top tier of people getting paid. Oh my God, there's 60,000 people making over six-figure numbers. Whoa. In just the Chicago area alone, oh my gosh. There's your answer. Guys, it's nice knowing you. You're fired. Who the hell gave you those raises? You're definitely fired. We're going to rehire somebody just as qualified, if not a smidgen more qualified than you schmucks, and they're going to make the regular pay that they should make. Problem solved. In the North region, with a base salary of $57,000, had earned $122,500 by mid-year, including $94,000 in overtime since January 1st, the records show. And at this pace, he will earn... did I miss something? Well, anyways, he will earn over $245,000, well more than the $138,000 annual salary of the Commissioner of DDS, Jordan Sheff. More than 250 DDS employees, most of them direct care workers, had earned at least $25,000. Hold on. Try that. Had earned at least $25,000 in overtime through June. Records show. According to the Courant, the state's excessive regulations governing how state-run healthcare enterprises should be staffed have transformed the Department of Development Services, or DDS, into a massive drain on the state already devastated budget. As a result, the state is hesitant to hire much needed new workers because it's slowly working to close the state institutions. For many advocates, overtime illustrates the inequalities. That is totally spelled wrong. Between the public and private sectors, there have been calls for several years of more funding for the private agencies serving most of the state's 16,000 intellectually disabled clients. Advocates say the disability community has never been in greater jeopardy, and they have ratcheted up their public protests. Several hundred parents, advocates, and clients attended twin rallies at the Capitol on July 18th. DDS head, Mr. Sheff, explains how the state's powerful public employees are working to preserve the system despite its obvious inefficiencies, adding that the costs of running these hospitals are not sustainable. You don't say. Paying someone who normally makes, 60, or what was the other first one, 44,000. Normally, yeah. Annual base salary of 44,000, and they're already on track to make $238,000 this year. I think you could start there. Oh boy. He said that first of all, he said, no, it's not sustainable, and it's not cost effective, and it's not in the best interest of the people we support to have out folks working this way. He said in an interview last week. He said the budget impasse, funding cuts to the agency, and certain state concessions to the union, such as stopping the privatization of state-run group homes, have hampered the department's ability to reduce costs and shift money to serve clients who have been waiting years for housing support, in-home aids, or other assistance from DDS. Furthermore, wasteful regulations that require a ratio of 2.7 on-duty staff for each psychiatric patient at a state-run hospital has also been blamed for ballooning the DDS budget to $1 billion. Advocates who have studied the public and private systems extensively say that a higher staff-to-client ratio in the public sector, about 2.7 to 1, compared with about 2 to 1 in the private sector, is a major reason why the public costs are significantly higher. A study by the legislature's Program Review and Investigation staff concluded that the quality of care provided by state and private workers was the same. Of course, we're the state, we're the government, let's just charge more because we can. And while we're not charge more, but pay more. Higher cost, more employees, and we're going to pay them more. Because that's what we do. And if any of you taxpayers have a problem with this, piss off. You voted for me, the governor, and I'm going to govern. And the mayors, right? They got selected excuse me, elected. Also, you don't like them, vote them out. And you know what? They'll do that. And you know what'll happen next? The next guy that gets in will have the same problem. He knows a guy. I know a guy. The guy's my friend. He's got a lot of friends, and I owe him a favor. Just so happens you guys voted me into office. Or at least you thought you did. To be sure, solving the overtime problem at Connecticut's psychiatric institutions would not go anywhere near to resolving the state's budget woes, which extend far beyond this one little sector, by the way. But the problem is emblematic of the most intractable financial and political problems facing the state. Powerfully entrenched state employee unions, wasteful regulation and programs that commit vast resources to serving a handful of needy individuals. Notice the word, just a handful of needy individuals. Kind of like our healthcare problem. What was that number again? What was the exact number? 44 something percent of your healthcare costs are due to just like, what was it, 4 or 5% of the population, something like that, 5% of the population, because they're so needy, they're so expensive to take care of. 5%. Listen, 5%, I love you. Jason up here, speaking from his heart. Although you might not think so in a second. Love you. Human to human, love you. But I don't love you that much when you're costing the entire nation 44% more healthcare costs. You need to take one for the team. Peace out. Right? Anyways, it's unbelievable. You're not going to hear anything getting better. You're going to hear another state come on sooner or later. It's going to have the same kind of problems, same kind of massive government waste. It's going to finally come out. You're going to finally get to see the books. You thought the books were being accounted for. They weren't. It's worse than you thought it was. Oh my gosh, what do we do? Raise taxes. Raise taxes. That's all we know how to do. Raise taxes. Well, how about cutting the incredible spending? How about lowering the salary? Well, we can't lower the salaries. Unions. Unions. At one point in time, union used to be a good thing. Group of laborers. We don't want to work for pennies. You know what I mean? We're hardworking people. Pay us a fair salary. All right, all right, all right. And then somehow that turned into pay us like triple what we're really worth. Not even double, triple. How much do you make an hour? Oh, about 75, 80 bucks. You make $75, $80 an hour. Huh. When most people would be happy to make $25 an hour doing what you're doing. Yeah, but I'm part of a union and, you know, one of those kind of things. Of course, if you're the union member or worker, oh, life is good. And when the taxpayers complain, you pull Joe's sister on them, Andrea. Nobody said life was fair. Life isn't fair. Nobody promised it. Nobody said life is fair. Nobody said life is fair. You're right, Joe's sister, Andrea. I'll just go ahead and shut my mouth and pay my taxes. Don't complain. Don't protest. I'll just take one for, you know, team slave. Wrong. Donald Trump would say, wrong. That's not going to happen. I will not sit by idly, right? So I do these videos. Get this information in front of people. Let the word spread. Let's see if we can get some kind of action out of this. I'm not going to hold my breath. Magic 8 Ball? Is anything good going to come of this? Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Well, there we go. I may have to do an extra video for that one. Take care.